Sunday afternoon. It's cold and wintry out here. The birds and the squirrels are busily eating the bird seed in our bird feeders. The animals out at the barn are all taken care of, and so I thought I would spend some time in my sewing room. I have a few projects to finish up and some new ones to start, and I thought maybe you might like to come along with me. Let's head upstairs. I'll just quickly show you around while we're up here. This is our guest room. And you saw pictures of that when I redecorated it this past summer. And a guest bathroom next door. And then we'll turn around. And this is our upstairs library and sitting area. It's a favorite spot in the wintertime, especially because it gets nice and toasty warm up here, especially when we have a fire in the fireplace. And then the next room is my sewing room. It can double as a guest room because I have a day bed in here, but for the most part it just gets used as my sewing room. My ironing board is always up because that's an integral part of sewing. I have a couple of sewing machines I've accumulated over the years. This one is a Pfaff. It's a German sewing machine, and it's a quilting machine. So it only does a straight stitch. It's really great for fast sewing. Doesn't do anything fancy though. I have a little baby lock that I use when I do garments. And then this is my fancier sewing machine that does embroidery, which I am not into machine embroidery, but it does have some nice stitches and it does do buttonholes. And so it has its place in my my sewing machine repertoire. The thing that I love about my sewing room the most is probably the view. Looking out onto the woods, our woodshed. I often sit here watching the squirrels and the birds in the trees. I caught these squirrels playing on the roof of the woodshed the other day. My project table. I do all of my cutting on that table, and I also have my projects lined up on there. My dress dummy in the corner. And on this side of the room, the day bed and some pillows. I wanted to show you this pillow in particular. I just finished this. This was a pillow top from a blog friend. You know who you are. And her mother had done the crewel stitchery on this, and so I turned it into a pillow. She sent that to me, so I will cherish that. Over here in the corner is an old pie safe that serves as my storage for my sewing stash. So let's take a look at what's on the cutting table. So while we're up here in the sewing room, I thought I would show you some of the projects that I've been working on. The most recent is this apron. Isn't that cute? I love the hot sauce. Perfect for a hot sauce lover. This is made over my own pattern. It's a copy of a 1940s style apron, and I think I actually found the original apron at my husband's grandmother's. And I brought it home and deconstructed it and made pattern pieces out of tissue paper, and that's the pattern that I sew all of my aprons from. This fabric is an Alexander Henry fabric, and one of the things about some of their fabrics is they're actually hand painted first, and then the fabric is made from the artist's rendering. So this was an artist's rendering of hot sauces and then made into fabric. So it does not have coordinating fabric to go with it, So that was a little bit of a challenge for me to find something to make the bias tape from, and I make all of my own bias tape. So I found this fabric, which I thought was perfect. It's a batik, and it's slices of limes. So what better to go with hot sauce than lime slices, right? Perfect. So this will be in my Etsy shop. Now, I think the next project that I'm going to work on comes from Making Magazine. And Making Magazine is one of my most favorite craft magazines. If you're a sewist or a knitter or a crocheter, or you like crafts in general, this is a great magazine. It comes out twice a year, and the entire magazine is just chock full of patterns. There are no advertisements. There are wonderful photographs, beautiful stories that go along with the patterns and the photography. It's really a lovely, lovely magazine. And what I am going to make from this particular edition is this wax canvas tote. You know me, I love waxed canvas, and I've made several purses, totes, and backpacks in the past. And this one just speaks to me. It's very simple. Just has a nice big pocket on the front. So I'm going to try that. I have lots of wax canvas to work with. Here are some of the ones that I have. Some brown, some green, some navy, some stripe. So I'm going to work on that next. And I think for the lining, I'm going to do some of these bee fabrics that I found. I had originally bought these to make masks from, and I will probably buy some more for masks. But I just think in a very simple tote, these lovely patterns would be beautiful for the lining. So there it is in black, and it also comes in white, the same pattern. And then I have some leftover bee fabric that I had done an apron in. And I have this fabric with bees, and then 2 honeycombs and bees in yellow and blue. So I'm going to work with those, make a few bags next. While we're on the subject of magazines, I wanted to share with you my most favorite magazines. Making is one. It comes out twice a year. I may have said that already. Another one that comes out, and I believe most of these are twice a year. I'm not exactly sure, but I think twice a year. By Hand, that's another one that's full of knitting, crocheting, crafts, sewing. It's just beautiful, beautiful pictures. Pictures from all over the world. This lovely picture of the Golden Gate Bridge. But this is also really a great magazine. No ads. And then a blog reader friend had sent me a copy of Taproot magazine a few months back, and I fell in love with that magazine, so I also ordered that. And Taproot magazine is, they say on the front, inspiration for makers, doers, and dreamers. It has sewing projects, it has cooking and baking projects, it has some articles about sustainable living and farming. It has patterns. It's another beautiful magazine, and it also comes complete with full instructions for making the things within it. So if you are into making, sewing, knitting, I would suggest you can't go wrong with these 3 magazines. They're not cheap, but they are well worth the price. The next sewing project that I'm going to work on involves this big piece of linen. Over the past several months, I've ordered some linen in different colors. I love linen for garments. This particular hunk of white linen is dedicated to, and I'll probably have enough to do several things from this, but this vintage pattern that I found of prairie shirts. And the one that I want to make in particular is this one on the bottom. It's long sleeves. It does not have the ruffle that this does. I don't need ruffles, but I just thought that was so pretty, so plain, simple, and old-fashioned. It would look nice with a skirt, it would look nice with jeans, it would look nice underneath a pinafore. So that's going to be my next pattern. If you read my blog last week, you saw the little lop-eared bunny that I made. That was my most recent knitting project that I finished, and I had ordered a book by the same author of that particular pattern. She does a lot of different rabbit breeds, but this book is called Magical Woodland Knits, and in it are patterns for a fawn, some birds, a squirrel, a mouse, an owl. Let me just show you this owl. So lifelike. That's what I love about her knitting patterns. It ends up extremely lifelike. There's a wolf pup in the back that I definitely want to make. So Magical Woodland Knits by Claire Garland. That's my next knitting project in there. You might remember my quarantine project. I made the stuffed rabbits out of felt, and then I made their friends. Luna Le Pen was the stuffed rabbit, and I made her friends, another boy rabbit, a mouse, a cat, a badger, and a fox. So the other day while I was looking for this Woodland Knits book, I happened across a new Luna Le Pen book, Making New Friends. And on this particular book, she has patterns for a deer, a squirrel, a dog, a ewe, a ram, and another Luna Le Pen rabbit. So I'll definitely be doing some of these in the coming months. I think I must be a child at heart. I don't know, but I love making toys. I hope you've enjoyed this little peek into my sewing room, and I've enjoyed sharing my projects with you. I'll share more with you in the months to come. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.